Okay, hello and welcome everybody. This is our Saturday Global Building Training Call. We're very excited to have everyone on here today. Welcome to all of our impactors around the world. Welcome to all of our guests around the world. John Van Dersen here from Canada. We've got a great call lined up for you today. You know, I've always learned that after 25 years in the relationship marketing arena, if you want to do something big, what you want to do is find out a couple people that are successful, find out exactly what they're doing, and then just copy it. That's all you have to do. Be a good copier and take action, and you can have the results you want. Well, the good news for you is we found those people. They're on the call here today. They're going to tell you exactly what they do. If you copy it, you are going to be dancing in the streets. It's going to be the greatest summer of your life coming up. So first off, we'll get started with the PowerPoint here. Let's touch on a couple things. 140 total countries we're in now. We turned 100 days old yesterday, our 100-day anniversary, and we're already in 140 countries with impactors. It's never been done by any company anywhere ever in the history in the world. We are making history. People love what we have. All we have to do is expose them to it, and they just go absolutely nuts from there. So well done. Congratulations, everybody. Let's talk about Alexa. The Alexa ratings tell us, you know, where we stack up in the world of websites. What's our popularity? Where do we rank in popularity in websites? Well, we've got three graphs on the screen. The one on the left, the one on the right are competitors of ours in the peer-to-peer crowdfunding arena. Look at what their graph is doing. They had a little surge. Now they're running for the hills. It's folding up. Why? Because of us. Look at us in the middle. That's our graph going straight up like a rocket and no signs of slowing down. Just look at the ranks, because the lower the rank, it means the more popular your site is. Look at our rank, a massive rank this jump this past week due to all the traffic on our site. We're now ranked number 56,723. Look at our competitors to the left and right. Not even competition anymore. So we are dominating the peer-to-peer crowdfunding arena. You're in at the right time, 100 days into this, and we're going to show you how to do it here today and how to get your share. Frank, yeah, you can bring this up. So last week we announced, and people are doing handstands over this, we put up most of our videos on our own Impact 101 YouTube channel. What that means, you can now go to that channel and you can get any of these videos in almost any language that you possibly want. So if you go to the blue videos button in your back office or go to resources, all videos, you'll see this little message at the top. It tells you our YouTube channel, and then there's a little video on our YouTube channel which shows you how to convert it to different languages. What does that mean? The world is now your market. The world is your prospects. You can reach out to anyone, anywhere. They can duplicate what you're doing. And guess what? When you do that, you get in the 24-hour receiving club. What does that mean? When you're sleeping, they're doing business. They're building in Australia. They're building in Asia. And you wake up and you see these fantastic emails that say, awesome news, you've got a donation coming. You want to be in the 24-hour receiving club? We're going to show you how to do that today. A big part of it is these videos and using all the multiple languages. So we're going to sail into our speakers now. I want you to listen really close to all of these people. Take notes, copy what they're doing, apply it with your style. Keep it simple. You're going to have amazing results. To start off, we're going to shoot down to California. We've got a husband and wife team there that are tearing it up. Unfortunately, CJ's down with the flu tonight, so Mark's riding shotgun solo here today. He's a fantastic leader. Mark, why don't you come on and share with us how you guys are tearing this up?
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, John. It's great to see you and Colin and Joe and Frank and everybody, all the great leaders out here, and it's wonderful to be a part of this. The one thing we're so excited about is that we are part of a global operation from the comfort of our kitchen table of our home. And I absolutely love the fact that we have the ability to scale this to a level that basically whatever level you want to. So, you know, you may have heard this before, and I know we talk about donations, but if you treat this like a business, it will come back to you with business rewards. So, I mean, be serious about what we're doing, and don't be afraid to take it to that higher level. And if you have any doubt in your mind, you really shouldn't, because you should really come all in at the highest level you possibly can. Because what we found is that people do what you do, right? So you want to come in at the highest grid level that you're comfortable with, and the people will follow you and they'll ask you, what are you doing? So you absolutely want to come in at the highest grid level you can, which is what we've done. And since then, we've been able to scale what we've done here with Impact 101 by taking our donation profits and upgrading to the next grid level. And we teach others how to do that. And then you find that you're in all 8 grids before you know it. So don't be afraid of starting out at a comfortable level, because if you take action and you're consistent, you will absolutely be able to upgrade yourself to the highest level, and then the sky is the limit. And you absolutely have a migration path to success. And I have to say one more thing. I'm so excited about the fact that we're in 140 countries. That Alexa rating I didn't even know about, so that just blows me away. And the fact that we have our own YouTube channel now, where you can just direct people to that and they get everything explained to them step by step. I've never seen anything like it. So thanks to all the leaders for putting this together, and thanks for having me out, John.
Sure. Hey, Mark, I got a couple of questions for you here this morning.
Yeah.
You know, you're an old battle-weary vet of the relationship marketing arena, like myself, Joe, Colin. You know, we've all done crazy things in the world where, you know, someone calls you to explain something. You got to book 2 hours off to explain the whole thing. How refreshing is it now to have all of the tools and just direct people to the videos? And when someone calls with questions, it's about a 3-minute call. How much better is that?
Oh my gosh. Well, that really ties back to the ability to scale quickly in this business, that you're not bogged down and spending all this time, like you said, going through in the weeds, I call it, and trying to explain every little thing about this. We just direct them to the videos and the what's already been created for us to explain everything, which is fantastic. And that's what we do. We just basically, like you say, John, we're just you know, pouring the coffee, right? We're traffic cops, and we're just separating and sorting and directing people to the information to get their answers, get the questions answered quickly, so they can move on, make their decision, and get involved. And that's exactly what we do.
Well, and the beautiful part of that, Mark, is they can duplicate what you just did. You know, and that's the beautiful part, because things happen with or without you. I've never been involved in an opportunity where things happened unless I was directly involved with everything on my team. I mean, I'll give you an example. I got my buddy in Magnus in Finland started late last week. And, you know, he watched some of the videos. He's using the YouTube channel that he can get in Finnish. They're bringing a big team in Estonia, in Russia on board. They can all use that. I think we've talked 3 or 4 times, and they're knocking it out of the park. They're now sitting number 5 in countries for the week. That means you can move fast, not only yourself with the tools, but your team can. It's not all dependent upon you. And isn't that the best way, Mark?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is the way. I keep going back to scaling, and that's the best way to do it. And really the fastest way to cycle through. And if you're brand new to this meeting here, you'll learn more about that. Just go to the YouTube channel and see exactly how that works. It's all laid out for you. You absolutely want to cycle and show others how to do the same, and then the rest becomes automatic. So I love it that this is working in our sleep or on vacation, or maybe on one of our little RV trips that we like to take up the coast of California once in a while. This is working while we're enjoying life.
That's it. You're paid to holiday. Not a bad plan, Mark. Give our best to CJ. Thanks for jumping on and sharing here today.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we're going to shoot over to the UK. We have got another one of our big leaders over there, just absolutely building a massive global team. India, all over Africa, UK, Europe, North America, you name it, this guy's there and he's got things going on, all from the comfort of his home. Colin, could you maybe come on, share with us how you're doing it all?
Good afternoon, John. Good evening, wherever you are in the world, everybody. My name is Colin Simmonds. I'm so pleased to be on here. John called me up and said, would you like to come and talk on Saturday? Tell people what you do. And I said, absolutely, because I enjoy talking about what we're doing with Impact 101. My background, I've been around 30 odd years in multi-level marketing, but this is completely different. This actually works for the masses. Now, as a training call, you got to understand this is a very simple system. It's a simple system to do. It's also simple not to do. So you have to make a decision. Do I want to make it work? So for all the impactors that have been around, I mean, we are only 100 days old, which is about 14 weeks. 14 weeks we've been around is not long at all. So we're all very new to this. So my training for today, I would say, if you've been around 14 weeks, look at the work that you did last week. Are you happy with the results that you got from last week? If you're not happy, then you need to say, well, how do I change what I did last week for next week? As I said, I've been around 30 years. I remember reading a book called The Slight Edge. Now, this slight edge is where you just look at your results and you change it slightly the following week. You try and improve what you're doing. And that's all I personally try to do. I try and improve. I look at what I'm doing. If I'm not happy with the results, I need to change it. Now, with regards to Impact 101, we all know that we ask a very simple question. Would you like to receive more money than you have now? Now, what I see, and this is my opinion, is a lot of people will put that statement on Facebook on a timeline. Now, think about that for a second. If you put that on a timeline, somebody's going to read it. Do you really think they're going to actually answer you on the timeline in the public? I would say no, they won't. So my training here is that you have to get personal. And what I mean by personal is you need to actually communicate directly with people, whether it be on chat or ideally you want to be face-to-face with somebody. So they can look into your eyeballs, they can see that what you're saying is sincere, it's real, you are really getting results. It's not one of those things on the internet that disappear. If you're dealing with an international company, a global company like we are, obviously I have people all across the globe. You can't be in front of them, so you use the next best thing, which is Zoom. So I constantly do one-on-one Zoom calls so people can see me and they can talk to me and they can ask me direct questions. Because there are the slightest question that can be slowing somebody down. So my key here is if you just post that on your timeline, you blast it out there, would you like some extra money? And you're not getting the response that you want, then you need to change how you do it. And to change how you do it, get into conversation, get more personal. Whether it's in the chat with somebody, you ask them how you're getting on in whatever business you're doing, show an interest, because they will eventually say to you, and what are you doing, Colin? Wow, what am I doing? Well, this is exploding around the globe. I can't even explain it to you. I've got a short video that will do a better job than I can. How soon can you watch it? Something like that. Now, another thing I want to get across today is that the tools that we have, they are incredible, but they're only incredible if you use them. So all these tools we have, if you're not taking advantage of them, you're not sharing your video to a French group in French or a German group in German, then it ain't going to go nowhere. It doesn't matter how good the tools are. So what my point is, you've got to use the tools as much as you can. So just to go back again, you look at the results you've recently had. If you're not happy with them, you need to tweak it and change it. Get personal is what I would definitely say. The more conversations you're having, the more energy will actually be brought up. Now, energy. I love the word energy. I look at our donation grids. Grid number 1, the $40 grid, is like a candle with a flame. It's a small energy. But if that's where you have to start, that's where you have to start. But that's a small energy. I look at grid number 8, 4,800. That's a volcano. That's erupting. So you've got to say, well, even that $40 grid, that small candle, can grow into a massive energy. You can get to the 4,800 grid, but you need to work your way through. So the results are actually there now. We know that since we've gone for the 3 grids to freedom, that energy, that candle is bigger than ever, and it's exploding around the globe. Now, if you're in the $40 grid and you're talking to somebody and you're talking about the 3 grids to freedom, are you confident about that? Or do you think, well, I'm only in the $40 grid, so I can't really talk about 3 grids to freedom? I would say to you today, change the posture, talk, understand the 3 grids to freedom. Even if you can't afford to be in it, you need to talk about it. You need to get people to see that video. Because when they see that video and they decide to go in the 3 grids to freedom, because that's where they're going to get better results, you will benefit. You'll quickly move from the 40 to the 80 to the 150 yourself. If anybody's brand new and you don't understand what I'm talking about, get onto the main website. You'll see all the videos and it will become clear. So for the existing members, you've got to say, if I'm not happy with the results I'm getting, I've got to use a slight edge, do something slightly different to get myself to the higher grids, because that's where the action is. And the best way to do that is eyeball to eyeball. You've got to have a conversation with people. The more conversations you have, the bigger your results are going to be. Blasting it over Facebook won't do it. I'll tell you now. We all know we've been in 14 weeks. That doesn't work. You need to change what you're doing. What else did I want to say? I think that's the main thing. Posture, actually. I want to talk about posture. It's easy to blast it out there, but then you've got to look at who you're attracting. If people are just asking for info and they're not really going to do anything, do I really want to work with those people? Okay, my answer is no, I don't. You don't need masses and masses of people. You don't need a huge list. You need quality people, people that can get on and see it. Like John has just said, Finland have only just seen what's going on in Impact 101, and you can see the results because they're sticking to the plan, they're following the tools, and it's exploding. That can happen for anybody. You've got to be the person that shows them the tools that we have. John, I think that's really what I wanted to say today. You just got to follow the tools. Oh, the last thing I want to say is the Alexa ranking. We hear about this, and I thought, okay, let me go and have a look myself. I know who our competition is. I want to go and have a look at their results. And it's there for all to see. You can see that it's going downhill, and ours is rising like a rocket. So you're going to say, do you want to rise with that rocket, or are you just going to watch it and watch it go and everybody else jumps on? And it's not a competition, by the way. You want to just get there, get your piece of what's actually happening out there. There you go, John. I could go on and on, but I think I can leave it there.
Well, that's great stuff, Colin. You know, you're absolutely bang on. I get people every day that talk about Facebook. You know, hey, I put a post on Facebook and I'm not retired. What's going wrong? You know, and I keep trying to direct them what you're saying, to have conversations, get to know people, you know, personal messages, one-on-one chats. That's what it's all about. That's where you get there. Wouldn't you agree with that?
100%, 100%. If anybody is a friend of mine on Facebook, go and look at my timeline. You'll see I don't blast out that kind of a question. I'm forever liking other people's posts because I want to get into conversation with people. It's only when you get into conversation that you'll get the results you're looking for. It's as simple as that. And then you're going to use the tools that we have. It is that simple. It's simple to do and it's simple not to do.
That's it, Colin. Now, we had a little chat just before we started the call. You know, I hear this probably on a daily basis. We show people our system, how simple it is to use, and they come back with us and say, yeah, but my people are different. Could you maybe talk about that for a second? Because I'm sure you get that every day too.
I do get that every day, John. And I honestly believe that people of the world are exactly the same. People are having the same challenges all around the world. Many people are looking at a home-based business. Usually it's a network marketing business, and the majority are struggling. The majority of people are struggling. There needs to be something different. Crowdfunding, peer-to-peer crowdfunding is most definitely different. There are more results here than I've ever seen in all of my years of home-based business. So when somebody says to you that they've never had any results in the past, it doesn't mean they won't get results here. This is a very simple system. They just need to follow the system. They need to start with as many grids as they comfortably can. They need to understand the 3 grids to freedom, because we know in the back of our minds that's what's working. You know, that is what's working. So if you don't fully understand the 3 grids to freedom, you've got to go and watch that video over and over and over again so you understand it. Then when you're talking to somebody brand new, and if you haven't got the results yourself yet, because you're just tipping your toe, you're on just the 1 grid, talk about somebody else's results. Find somebody above you that's involved. Find out what kind of results they're getting and talk about their results. Say, I've got a friend in the UK, Colin, he's received 5 figures in donations in the first 14 weeks. And here's a video that will show you how he's done that. Simple as that. So if you haven't got the results yourself, it doesn't have to slow you down, is my point. Get out there and make it happen for you.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Colin. You know, it all comes down to getting eyeballs on the video, as we well know. The more eyeballs you have on the videos, the more emails you get saying, awesome news, you've got a donation coming. There's a direct correlation there. How do you get eyeballs on the video? Hey, have you got 3 minutes to see something spectacular? Have you got 3 minutes to see something that can change your life? Have you got 3 minutes to see a way that a lot of people are receiving a lot of funds? The answer is yes or no. If the answer is yes, you get them the video. Now you're starting the sorting process. And when they get through that 3-minute video and onto you've got their attention, you get them onto the 3 grids to freedom plan. Boy, if that doesn't have them jumping up and down and their hair stand on end, you're talking to the wrong person. We just sort people out. You know, that's what those first 2 videos do. The ones with the blank look, you thank them for their time, and you go with the people that are jumping up and down, like my buddy Magnus from Finland, and like so many other people, the people who get it right away, and you help them do the same thing. That's all we do. So thanks for sharing, Colin. We really appreciate it here today. All right, we're going to shoot over to Calgary, Alberta. We got Jolton Joe Mhamed, my business partner, good friend of mine. We've worked together for the past 25 years. We built some huge teams around the world together. Man, we've done some crazy and complicated stuff. It's like a breath of fresh air here, isn't it, Joe?
Absolutely, John. You know, it's funny. We think about how, a lot of people that are getting involved in this don't understand how fortunate they are to be part of something that it's peer-to-peer. There's no company that's going to take your money. There's no company that's going to, you have to wait for them to pay you. There's no, and we've been down that road so many times, John. I mean, it's crazy how this is, when I say this on the calls all the time, this is going to be the wave of the future. This is the way people are going to start doing business. Is going to be peer-to-peer. People are so sick and tired of companies, especially in the relationship marketing business. You get a lot of people that are building big teams. We had a guest speaker a couple weeks ago that built a team of 1.3 million. The company decided to sell, and then he was kind of left high and dry. And this is the thing that you guys have to understand, is that I wake up every day going, my God, am I ever glad that we're doing this? I don't have a company that's holding my money or holding my checks or holding my people's checks or even having to worry if they're going to be open next week or something's going to happen. They don't tell you. We've been down that road so many times. One of the biggest things about this is that I don't have to sit there and wait for we have a company, Impact 101's a great company, but the only thing we're doing with them is we're paying our membership, which is the mobile landing page. This is a great product, which is your tracking system, but that's it. But they don't collect any money from us, which is awesome, which is a great thing. So John, we talk about what we've done in the past. This has been definitely a breath of fresh air. You wake up to donations every morning. You go to sleep at night. This is truly, if you guys have been doing this for a while and you guys aren't reaching out globally, you're missing out, because, you know, you want true financial freedom. You want to really, you know, you really want to, you know, get donations for your cause. Go out to the whole world. Like, go out to the whole world. We have teams all over the world. We wake up in the morning with donations. We go to bed with donations. We have donations throughout the day. And, you know, people used to say this, man, that would be so cool to have a situation like this. Well, you have an opportunity, you know, and I've said this again on calls. A lot of companies get started in any kind of business, but it takes them months, sometimes years, to open up countries. We've opened up 140 countries in 100 days. I mean, that's unheard of. I mean, I can go on and on, John. I don't know what else you want me to touch on, but we can definitely talk about that kind of stuff.
Sure. Hey, Joe, you know, Colin touched on an interesting point. We don't talk very often. It's posture. You know, it's how we carry ourselves, our belief in what we're doing, our confidence. You're one of the masters of posture. You don't chase anyone around. You don't beg anyone or try and coax them in. Could you just touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely, John. So biggest thing is I've always done, I've years ago, like 20 some years ago, when I first started in the industry, I got really attracted to one gentleman who taught me how to prospect, and I really loved the way he did it. And it took me a little time to figure it out. But I'll tell you guys exactly how this works. This is how I think about prospecting. You know, when John and I talk about when we talk about sorting, well, that's part of it. Most unprofessional people that are amateurs, they're not looking at it sorting. They're looking to sell somebody, to convince somebody, to get somebody involved into something. And, you know, 99% of people hate to be sold. They don't like to be sold, but they want the information, the way you do it, especially if you come across as you really don't care. And what I mean by that is it's an attitude that you've got to have. See, when I'm prospecting somebody and I'm calling them and I say, hey, listen, I came across something that could do X, Y, Z for you. Take a look at this. Hey, listen, John, by the way, I'm super busy. When you've watched the videos, get back to me. Let me take you to the next step, or introduce you to somebody on our team that's done X, Y, Z, or done this, or however you want to do it. But that's the way I kind of approach it. But I don't care. The way my demeanor is I don't care if they come in or they don't come in, because I know people will come in. I know we have something that is fantastic. That's the whole thing. But I'll tell you guys the biggest thing about having posture. When you have posture, you have fun, because you don't care. When you are needy, when you're trying to convince, when you're trying to sell, what happens? It becomes stressful. You're always worried about what the person's going to think. You're always going to worry about what they're going to say. I don't worry about that. I can care less, because I know where I'm going. I've got my goals. I've got everything set. But this is the other equation to this too, is the fact that when you are in that state where, again, and I don't want to sound like you don't care, but you really don't care about the outcome. You're just going after you're just taking the action. You know the outcome's going to come, whether it's yes, no, maybe, who cares? It doesn't matter. But you know you're going to get success from it. When you have that thought process, people get attracted to you. How do they get attracted to you? Because they love the fact that, hey, you know what? I don't have to sit and convince and sell and do all that nonsense that most of these people that are in the relationship marketing, you know, they're calling people 1,000 times. They're always hounding them. They see them at the grocery store. They're ducking through aisles. They don't want to see you. You know, I don't want to build a business like that. I don't want to do that. I never have. This has always been my go-to move, because when I call somebody, I'll do one follow-up call, but that's it. And I don't mean for you guys to give up on stuff, but it's all an attitude. Trust me when I tell you this, people will be attracted to you. They'll be attracted to the power of having posture. I hope I explained it correctly, John, but that it's such a complicated thing that I don't want to sound like a jerk and say, hey, don't care about people. It's not about that. It's about you not caring about the results. You're just taking the action. That's kind of the whole attitude. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. And you nailed it. I mean, because that's what it is. You know, that's how we sort. I don't care if their answer is yes. I don't care if it's no. I'm trying to get an answer out of them. I mean, yeah, I hope it is yes, but I mean, they got to come to that conclusion themselves. I'm not going to twist their arm and try and drag them kicking and screaming in. So when that comes across that you're indifferent to their answer, but if they see it, you're going to help them do something huge. It's totally different than people putting them in a headlock and trying to beg them into stuff. So yeah, it makes a big difference. So great work on the call here, Joe. Great work, all of our speakers. You know, we've got a couple calls coming up this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, with 140 countries and, you know, who knows, 800-900 time zones around the world. We have to mix these calls up a little bit. So you can see we do Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern North America. You can see the times there for India and Australia, and the UK adjust for your time zone. And then our next call is Wednesday. These are the calls with Frank Servideo, president of Impact 101. We always give lots of great updates, everything on there. So make sure you're on there with your team. So we appreciate everybody jumping on the call. Let's make it a huge weekend. Start sorting. That's all it is. How many eyeballs are you going to get on the videos? Watch how the donations change when you've got eyeballs on the video. Keep your life simple. Think big, think global, and most important, let's impact a lot of people. So we're going to shut off the recording. We're going to take a couple quick questions that may have come in, and then we'll let everybody go and have a great weekend. So Frank, if you want to turn the recording off for a second.